Keith here with Ask DADventure Disney episode number 30. We've done 30 of these and that is so cool, and I absolutely love this question, not only because they gave me a compliment, which is very nice, but because it's a very good question to have. And that is my new friend Jenny Ballgame. What a great name. I love that name. Jenny Ballgame sent me a message, and you can do that too, so why don't you go ahead and do that. But Jenny Ballgame said, hey, I love that you did the video ranking your 4 favorite parks. That was very brave of you. Thank you very much. But she wants to know, in each park with little kids, what are my must and must nots do? So what do you think you have to do, and what do you think you can just go ahead and skip the first time? I think that's a great question, and Jenny, thank you so much for asking that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go park by park, and I'll give you 3 things that I think you should do your first time in the park with little kids, and 3 things that you can go ahead and skip this trip. Go back when they're a little bit older, or maybe when you're by yourself. But things that are going to be fun for the whole family. 3 great things, 3 things that you can skip by each park, and we're going to start off with number 4 in my list. And if you go back to episode 29, you'll see my whole list that I ranked them all. So let's start with number 4. Let's go ahead and start at the Animal Kingdom. All right, so the Animal Kingdom, here we are, and it's number 4, yes, but somebody's got to be number 4, so why not Animal Kingdom? There's a bunch of stuff that I think you got to do when you're with the kids. And first things first, rope drop it. I've said it in videos before, it's the Kilimanjaro safaris. You got to go on the safaris. They are so much fun. You're going to see elephants, you're going to see giraffes. If you're lucky, you're going to see lions, and a great way to do that is, like I said, rope drop it. Go first thing in the morning. It's cool. Every one of the animals are excited to be outside. They're all eating, they're being fed, the sun is just coming up. It's very Lion King-esque, and you might see some of the lions out there. We did on our trip. It was fantastic. We actually got off it, went right back on it, and went on a second time. The safaris are so much fun. The Festival of the Lion King is there, and when it comes back, it is like one of my favorite shows in all of the parks. To be able to see the acrobats, it's like Cirque du Soleil meets the Lion King Broadway. It's audience interaction. The kids love it. There's no way you're going to fall asleep, even though I had an infant fall asleep on my shoulder for the whole show. That's true. But the older kids, the toddlers, they loved it. Absolutely loved watching them jump and down and bounce and dance and sing, and they all get to yell out like animals. It's really, really cool. And then over in Dinoland USA, you've got the Boneyard. The Boneyard is this big, like, enclosed playground. There's no lines to wait in if you can get in there. There's no time frames. It's not waiting for an hour and a half in line and doing a 2-minute ride. You get to go in there and play, and the kids get to expend a lot of their energy, which is a whole lot of fun. Things that I think you can skip in the Animal Kingdom. First thing is Everest. Expedition Everest. It's a roller coaster. It's a scary roller coaster. It's got this Yeti thing in it, and it's got a height restriction of 44 inches. So if your kids aren't 44 inches, they can't go on it anyway. But you can go ahead and you can skip that. You're going to find a lot of my skips are like the bigger thrill rides, which is fine. Dinosaur is terrifying. As an adult, Dinosaur is terrifying. Try bringing a 3-year-old on that, and you got a 40-inch height restriction on Dinosaur. So we can just go ahead and we can skip right past Dinosaur. And Flight of Passage. I know you guys love it. I know it's fantastic. I know it's a great ride. It's got a 44-inch height restriction on it, and like the longest line ever to wait for it. Don't make your little kids wait on it for you to go on Flight of Passage. Just wait until the next time you go. Try to fast pass it, but don't make the little kids go through this whole thing when they can't even go on the ride anyway, right? So that's Animal Kingdom. Let's move on to number 3. Let's go to Epcot. Epcot is all about food, right? Food is fantastic, and the kids love that. Let them walk around and eat and experience all that food. But when it comes to it, rides and attractions, here's what I'm saying, go ahead and skip. Skip Mission Space. You got a 40-inch height restriction on it, but it's like you're strapped into this thing, you're going to Mars, there's like all this kind of craziness stuff. Adults get pretty motion sickness in this thing, so just skip it with the kids. No reason to go there. You don't want the kids to fall asleep on this trip. Right now, if the kid's already sleeping, the next one might be something good to go to. But if the kid's looking for something to do and wanting to stay active and stay energized, stay away from all the little country videos that are all around World Showcase. Canada, Japan, a bunch of them have like these little videos about the history of the countries, which are fantastic. I love watching them. But if you got a 3-year-old, it's not really going to keep their attention. They're going to start bouncing off the walls, and it's not really a great place to think. The other thing is, just like Flight of Passage, probably one of the longest lines in Epcot is for Soarin'. Soarin' is a 40-inch height restriction. You're kind of hanging from this gondola thing. You got flip-flops flying all over the place. You got a long line to wait there. Skip it. just skip Soarin'. Go back when they're a little bit older and then have a great time, because Soarin' is a great ride. If you've got little kids, my 3 S's, there is no doubt you have to find a way to get on Frozen Ever After. Frozen Ever After, if there's something Frozen in the parks and you've got kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, they know every word, they know every scene, they know every song, and I'm sure that they're wearing every outfit for Frozen. You got to go on Frozen Ever After. It's a great ride. They use the track from the Maelstrom to be able to go ahead and make a brand new ride. You got Anna, you got Elsa, you got Sven, you got Kristoff, you got Olaf, you got them all there. But you can go ahead and you can ride on that. I've got a great trick for you to be able to in it. If you want to know what it is, go ahead and message me. You can do that on our social media. Remember, I'm at DADventure Disney. You can find all those links down below. The second thing that we want to do is Turtle Talk with Crush. So Crush, the turtle from Finding Nemo, has this great interactive screen where he's able to talk to the kids and you can see them moving and they come in and out. It's this nice little thing. It's not a whole lot of hurry up and wait. You get in the room, you get to have a little interaction with Crush, and it's a whole lot of fun. And then my favorite, as being a farmer, living on a farm, I think it's something important. So I told you about kind of staying away from the movies about the countries, right, as we go around. But you still want to do a little bit of learning, and Living with the Land there in Epcot is one of my favorite rides. It's this great little boat ride. While everyone else is in line waiting to get in Soarin' in the land pavilion, you can go down, you can get on the Living with the Land boat ride. You go through and you see how they're doing all kinds of great technologies to be able to use farming, and a lot of the food that's there is over at Garden Grill. So if you can book a lunch at Garden Grill, which is that like really slowly revolving character lunch with Mickey and Pluto, Chip and Dale, if you can get the lunch or the dinner there, or even breakfast is fantastic there, you can see where they're growing a lot of the stuff that they serve there on that ride, which is kind of a cool way to connect the kids into it. That's Epcot. Moving on to number 2, which is Hollywood Studios. Boom. Hollywood Studios, fantastic place to go, especially with Batuu Galaxy's Edge. I love it. Hopefully your little kids are Star Wars fans, but they may not be, and that might play into this. Things that you definitely want to do in Hollywood Studios, Toy Story Mania. Same way that your kids know everything about Frozen, my guess is your kids know everything about Toy Story. They all have toys, they all have the shirts, they have the hats, the characters are everywhere. There's whole Toy Story Land, but of all of Toy Story Land, you got Slinky Dog, you got the alien saucers, go on Toy Story Mania. It's this great 3D action, you get to shoot, it's fun, it's very light, it's happy, and the kids are gonna love it. It's a lot of fun, and the walkthrough area, the queue for that is perfect. You are toy size and you get to walk through, huge giant toys of Tinker Toys and Legos and all kinds of great stuff to be able to have your kids feel like a toy, and it's so much fun. Bringing it back to Frozen, the Frozen sing-along in Hollywood Studio is a ton of fun. The jokes of the live performers sometimes sail right over the kids' heads, and the adults think they're fantastic, and the kids just love that they get to see their Frozen friends in the flesh, and they get to sing the songs as loud as they can. It starts snowing in the room. It's a fantastic time and totally worth it. It's a great way to spend some time in the air conditioning in the middle of the day. And then at the end of your day, find a way to get to Fantasmic. If your kids are only going to do one fireworks show and you can't really get to the Magic Kingdom, go ahead and do Fantasmic. You've got like every character is in Fantasmic. There's a little bit of Nightmare Situation, which is fine. My kids are very skittish kids and they didn't mind it at all. And at the end, you've got the big ferry boat that comes through with like every possible character there, and you can like check them all off your bucket list as you see them all come through. Fantasmic is great. Now there are things at Hollywood Studios you can go ahead and skip. The first, Rock and Roller Coaster. You guys know I was going to say that, right? My 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, they don't know who Aerosmith is, so that doesn't matter to them. And the fact that there's a 48-inch, it's the biggest height restriction they have in all the parks because there is a loop. So you go ahead, and if you're under 48 inches, you can't go on it anyway. It's a long line. It's a pretty dark, fast thrill ride. Not the best for little kids. Tower of Terror, right there. You get into a box with like 20 of your best friends, and you get dropped, and then picked up and dropped and dropped and picked and up and dropped and not really great for little kids. Skip it. And then Smuggler's Run, which pains me to say it. You know I love Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon. I loved piloting it and gunning it and engineering it. But a 3-year-old sitting in that chair trying to figure out why this place is bouncing and things are yelling at you and there's all these noises and buttons and lights and flashing, it could be very overwhelming. So go ahead and skip the Smuggler's Run if you really have to. Let them see it, let them walk around, take their pictures in front of the Millennium Falcon. That would be fine. That's fun. You can see Chewbacca, you can see the other things. You can build a droid, you can do lots of stuff with that too, but the rides might be a little bit too much for the little kids right now, but that's okay. Bring them back in a couple of years and they're gonna love it. And what else are kids gonna love right now, no matter how old they are, is my number 1, Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom. It's the place of magic, right? It's fantasy. It's right there. It's adventure, right? There's lots of different stuff to be able to go there. There's Tomorrowland, there's Frontierland, and there's tons of different food, lots of great food to be able to enjoy. I've done food before, I'll do it again, but this is my must and must not at Magic Kingdom for your first ride. Now, my kid's very first ride was It's a Small World. Not great for everyone, I'm not on my list. So I'm gonna give you 3 that we're not gonna do. We're not gonna do Space Mountain. 44-inch height restriction on Space Mountain, and if you're over 44 inches, you can barely fit into those stupid little astronaut rocket things. Every time you go around a corner, it feels like that bar is trying to do some kind of like spleen taking out appendicitis. It's awful. It just squeezes right into you, and if you're a bigger person, such as myself, this ride is the most uncomfortable, in the dark, lights flashing everywhere. Not the best ride for a toddler at all. Is it a classic? Yes, all the mountains are, but I think you can skip it. You can also skip the Hall of Presidents. Talk about a snooze fest. Your 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, they might know who's president right now, but they don't care, and they don't want to see robots telling them about the history of presidents. So we're going to go ahead and skip that one. Now, if the kids are about to fall asleep, walk into the Hall of Presidents. You watch the Hall of Presidents, enjoy the air conditioning while the kids fall asleep. That's fine. And the other, my third no, might be a bit controversial. Go ahead and hit those comments below. Let me know what you guys think. I think you can go ahead and skip the Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That ride has a bit of a scary element to it when you're going through the really dark, bright. There's like dark, and then it's like bright, and there's lights flashing at you, and there's the woozles, and there's like all kinds of heffalumps and like strobe light action, and it's kind of, you're always like spinning around in this honey pot thing and never really getting to look at anything for all that much time. It's usually a very long wait. The queue isn't as interactively fun as people like to think it is. I would go ahead and skip Winnie the Pooh if you can. It's one of those rides that if your kid didn't get on it, it's fine. I went there with my 3 kids. I told you guys, they went on Winnie the Pooh. We went and we fast passed it one night during the fireworks because they weren't into the fireworks, so we went on Winnie the Pooh, and I don't think they've ever talked about it since. So it's not one of the rides that definitely is something that you need to do. You can go ahead and skip it. 3 rides that my kids would have been really ticked off if we didn't go, and ones that I'm pretty sure that your kids will enjoy. First is the classic Dumbo the Flying Elephant, and there's a little much to it. Yes, it's this great ride. It's a great classic. It's been there since the very beginning of Disneyland, but the Flying Elephant, the queue for it, you wait with like a buzzer, like you're waiting at like a chain restaurant, like a Ruby Tuesdays or a Chili's or something. You're waiting for your table to be called. You sit there at the buzzer while your kids get to play in this great playground area that looks like a circus. So it's got the fire pits and the fire building that looks like, and you can jump around, and there's all kinds of great ball pits and foam, and everything is just perfect for little kids to run around and again expend some energy. You're not standing in line in the hot sun. You're in this little area playing, and then the buzzer goes off and you go get in line and you get to fly on your elephant, which is really cool. My kids' favorite ride, hands down, was Journey of the Little Mermaid. We went it like 5 different times, and they loved it every single time. It's one of the classic Disney Renaissance movies that really brought Disney back into our lives. For those of us who are of the 30s and 40s in age, we know that those are the movies that brought us back, and Little Mermaid was like the first one. The music is fantastic. The animatronics are fantastic. So that is a great ride because you get to go through the whole movie and they know it all. And it's a nice longer ride. It's not a quick ride. It's it's a few minutes. It's not one of those quick 2-minute jobs. You can go ahead and see a lot of different things. They dance around, and it's a lot of fun on that ride. They absolutely loved it. The Ursula thing didn't scare them at all. They actually thought it was quite funny. So that was kind of cool. And the third thing that I think you must do when you go to Magic Kingdom, no matter how little the kids are, is you got to bring them on the Pirates of the Caribbean. There is nothing more classic to Disney than Pirates of the Caribbean. It is my all-time favorite ride, and my kids almost didn't get on it. But they did. They went on it because the drop in Frozen, when we went on Frozen, didn't scare them that much, so they knew that the drop in Pirates wouldn't scare them as well. It's a great introduction to dark ride. Maybe you'll do it on your 4th or 5th day when the kids are a little bit more comfortable about going on rides, but it's a ride that they start to get the idea. It's a nice longer ride. The music is fantastic. The theming is fantastic. The smells, you guys know. Everything about Pirates brings the magic of Disney to you. So to me, that is one of the best places that you can bring the kids, usually towards the end of the trip, and give them the real good thrill ride of that one little drop. To them, it's a thrill ride, right? And to us, it's just one of our favorites. Pirates, absolutely one of my favorites. So those are my 3 must and must nots do in each of the 4 parks. I hope that you guys love it. I know that you guys probably have a million other answers to these things, and I'd love for you to hit me. So go ahead and hit those comments down below and let me know exactly what you think you should or should not do and what you think of the ones that I said too. I want to thank you, Jenny Ballgame. Jenny Ballgame, thank you so much for asking that question. It means the world to me. If you guys want to ask your own question, I'm here. Find me on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at DADventure Disney, and you can contact me through DMs on all 3 of those ways, and I'd love to be able to answer your question next. I am running out very quickly, so I need some new questions, so please go ahead and send those in. You can email me too if that feels more comfortable to you, like Jenny Ballgame did. She emailed me, dadventuredisney@gmail.com. We'll start the conversation going, and you can also say, hey, how about doing something like this on your channel? Because I'd love ideas. I'd love to be able to know what you guys are looking for me to be able to do here on this channel, and I'd love to be able to deliver that for you. You guys can go ahead and you can subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That would be great, and click that little bell notification so that you know every time I have a new video, either one of these Ask DADventure Disneys, maybe something new, or one of my small shop spotlights, which are a whole lot of fun, bringing Disney stuff right into your home too. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for continually supporting DADventure Disney and showing your love on social media, on YouTube, through the website, dadventuredisney.com, all the different places. Means the world to me to be a part of your life. Means the world to me to be part of your Disney life, and Disney friends are truly the best friends. I hope that everybody stays happy. I hope everyone stays healthy and safe, and I hope to see everybody in the parks really, really soon. So long.